Aloha, phenomenal phoenixes. Today we're gonna build on our pattern making skills. I'm super pleased with what I saw on those posters, guys. That's actually some complicated math. Look around the room, you'll see there's some complicated stuff going on there. Some pretty abstract stuff like a side of any length. What? But you guys did it. And so today we're gonna be looking at more patterns. And today, like when we did this before, I'm not even worried about math language. Let's just find a way to observe what's going on, and later I'll feed you the math language. So take a look. You'll see that there's four different patterns here in this attachment in today's stuff. You got pattern A, pattern B, pattern C, and D. And each one of them has like case one, case two, case three, case four, case five. Your job today is to draw these patterns on a graph paper. Please label your paper. We're going to call this pattern recognizing, or yeah, pattern recognizing, or just call it day 9 if you want. And we're going to go step by step. I'm going to guide you through how you can start to take on these patterns and maybe even show you a few things. Okay, so the first question, first I want you to write this in your paper. So please draw one pattern on your paper. And now, the next question, I don't want you to like write this question and then answer it. I want you to like draw. I want you to visually show. You can use words, you can use visuals to show how do you see how do you see the shapes change as the case number increases. Okay, so for example, if I were going to draw case one, I might one way to look at it is like as the cases increase, they're rotating a little bit. They're rotating. So maybe one way to draw that would be like kind of showing a rotation like that. If you know how much it's rotating, maybe you want to put that. It looks like kind of like 45 degrees. I don't know. But I want you to use drawings to see. What do you see? I want you to use drawings and visuals to show me what do you see. How do you see the shapes change as the number increases? Visual is great. If you have to use words, that's fine too. All right, you can pause this and go ahead and do that. Okay, so another question is where do you see the new squares? For example, you can see in pattern B uh, that as the case goes on, like case 2 compared to case 1, we have this new square here. But the question is where? Where do you see it? How are you going to express that? Visually, with words? I want you to really look at where do you see the new squares? How do you see the new squares being added? Now, uh, pattern A and pattern C are kind of weird when you look at that question for obvious reasons. Pattern C is losing squares. So how are you going to express that? How are you going to show that visually? Pattern A, you're not gaining any. It's always 3 squares, right? But how they are being placed can answer the question where. All right, go ahead and get that done, and then you can pause it. It's a good stopping place. Continuing forward, let's answer this question. How do you see the shapes change as the case number decreases? Interesting. So for this one, we're going to go backwards. What do you see happening when you go like from case 3 to case 2 to case 1? What I want you to visually describe that. You can use words again. How do you see the shapes change as the case number decreases? C will be really interesting. That'll be easy for a lot of you guys. But yeah, what do you notice as it decreases? And for those of you who really want to go deep, can we decrease past case 1? Can we even go past case 1 and go to like case 0 And then like, can we go past case 0? All right, I want you to address this question. And pause and go ahead and look at that visually and with words describe. All right, we're rounding this thing up. Now we've got 2 tricksy ones. If you've gotten to this point, if you've answered all these questions, and by the way, I'll make sure they are in today's agenda. And you know what? I'll number them so that maybe that'll help you number on your paper. You can go back and you can give me like a big, okay, this is question number, you can go back and you can say, one second. Let's say your paper, you're showing a drawing that shows what happens to the extra squares, right? Then you can maybe like just put a 1 there for question 1 to show me that that's what you're addressing. And I'll have all these numbered for you and I'll put it in the agenda. But anyways, we're getting tricky for these next ones. What would you do for the 105th case? What would it look like? Now that one's a little crazy because you might need a huge part of your paper. We have staplers and we have more graph paper. So if you literally want to draw out the 105th case, that would be hard for case D. That would be hard for case C too. I'm interested to see how you do there. Um, so maybe you have to be creative on how you visually show that. I will accept any creativity. What I won't accept is just like not doing anything. Just like, oh, I have no clue. Yeah, you do. You can figure it out. Like you're not done. All right, pause and get that done. And finally, we will address this is again, if you got to the last question, that's like B level stuff. Now we're gonna look at like the A level stuff for a little harder question, um, which is what would the -3 case be like? So you can imagine, we'll look at case B here. There's case 1, but like, what would case 0 look like? It's like for now we'll block out. Um, Sorry, my pen's being weird. Anyways, for now, let's like ignore all this, right? What would case 0 look like for case B? And then what would case -1, case -2 look like? I'm really interested to see. You can't be wrong on this. And I will be super pleased if we have some kind of arguments around this. Love arguing. All right, guys, I think that completes all the questions. I'll make sure they're numbered in the agenda for you. And you can make sure to put this graph paper, make sure to label it. We'll label it tiles problem, the tiles problem, part 1, tiles problem part 1. And again, I will have all those questions numbered for you so that you can show me how you're answering these questions. All right, good luck, guys. This should be a fun activity. Hope you enjoy it.